Hey everyone, this is the Portland corded hedge trimmer from Harbor Freight. We're going to do an unboxing and review on everything. So let's get started. It is 22 inches long. I think it's the cheapest one that Harbor Freight offers. Honestly, I'm probably just going to rip the package here. So I guess you open up that front lip first and come to the back with more tape. So if you're on a budget, this Portland one that they sell at Harbor Freight is corded. It runs off 4 amps. If we flip it over to the back here, it's all electric. It's 120 volts. It's got 4 amps. The branch capacity is 5/8. The blade length is, of course, 22 inches. The blade size is 2.5 inches. And the speed on this one is about 32 spins per minute. So once you get it up and up here, this is what you'll have inside. And that's about the size comparison with me holding it. Here's the cord. So if you're using it for your outdoor use, I would probably get an extension cord. Doesn't have to be heavy duty or anything. But it comes with a protected blade here and a cover guard to mount, I guess, either this way or that way. I'm not entirely sure yet. And the last thing in the box is the manual to go over the manual. But we'll show it in action here in a second. So before we get to cutting, we'll show you guys the blade. Take off the protective cover, and that's what you're working with there. It oscillates back and forth. And we're going to try here to put the protection guard on before we get to the demo. Way. There's 2 little mounting bolts. I guess it doesn't have to be too tight. We'll do the other side. And there you go. You got your little 22-inch bladed, corded Portland hedge trimmer. Let's see it in action. All right, guys, we got our extension cord ran. It's just a simple plug up like that. So it's got a safety mechanism. If you pull the handle here, nothing will happen. But if you push this in, the blades will spin. Oh, and unplug. I would probably get a better extension cord than what I got. Well, we're gonna test this bush out right here and see how it does, and then I'll show you guys a time-lapse video on the rest of my bushes. Seems like it cuts pretty easy on the small ones. You might have to not necessarily force your way through some of the bigger branches, but let's see if we can square this off. I guess that's a good example of a tiny brush hedge. It's not perfectly square, but it does its job. And I think I just realized there's a way you might be able to feed this through in order for it not to come out on you, because it's got a loop here. We'll check that out when we get to the time lapse. Alright guys, I cleaned it up a little bit better, but if we come in here, I'm no professional hedge trimmer, so I did my best, but overall product review so far on it, it did a pretty good job. I got way more that wraps around the house that I'll tackle, but for this video I just wanted to do a test review. Cleaned up the area before I put the grill back, so what we're going to try, even though they're hedge trimmers, we got this tree here that has thicker branches on it, and we're going to see how it does on clipping some of these. There's even one that's probably close to about 1.5 inches in diameter. We'll give a shot to. But the blade so far, it's pretty good. And I figured out with my crappy extension that you can kind of just let it rest there and it won't cut off on you. But we're going to try this thicker tree branch right here to cut down and see how much it struggles or if it goes straight through. Not too bad. Let's go in a little bit more. I'm not trying to force it through, I'm just kind of letting the blades do the work. Now if we come up underneath here, there's one branch that's been giving me a pain. I'm going to try to get as close as I can to that base up there, and it's probably about that big around, so give it a try. Well, I tell you what, I'm probably about 90% cut through with those branches until the extension cord popped on me. Now keep in mind, that's just my extension cord, but I can probably twist that off like that. It did a pretty good job, but I can tell once you get to the thicker tree branches, you probably wouldn't want to be using this. You probably want to use the handheld ones. But overall, it did a pretty good job. Portland 22-inch corded hedge trimmer from Harbor Freight for 37 bucks. You can't beat it.